Getting on calls with clients. Now, tell me about that. So it sounds like you are taking calls with clients, your cold pitches are being answered, which is amazing. Have you ever done that before? Is this brand new to you?
Brand new. Had never, yeah, cold pitched before, had never gone on any discovery calls before. And the thing is, like, when I first was learning copywriting, it was just me, studying the basics of it. But I was getting to the point where I was burning out because there's so much to learn. It's not just writing, it's like marketing. You have to learn the business side of things, you have to learn psychology. And so I was getting really burned out and thinking, like, there's no way I can be able to do this because it's going to take me just too long. I have my kids. I'm just studying, studying, studying. I don't even know how to get my business on the, off the ground. So yeah, when I found your course, it was absolutely perfect because there's so many copywriting courses and they teach you how to write and all of that's good. But you can also learn that from watching YouTube videos and just looking stuff up, reading books and all that. So just like if you're a self-starter, self-learner and motivator, that's pretty easy to do. So I didn't really want a course that taught me how to write specifically. I needed someone to kind of like hold my hand and tell me step by step, like, how do I actually get my business up and going? And so that's why your course has been perfect for me. I'm like so happy I found it. But the way you just describe step by step what to do, I felt very prepared going into these calls. So from creating my website to building my portfolio and optimizing my LinkedIn page, I felt like I had a good handle on things, even if I don't know everything. I felt like prepared and I didn't feel embarrassed that I'm just starting out because I had everything I needed to in order to complete the calls. So yeah, I just followed your cold pitch templates and they've really been working really well for LinkedIn specifically. And I've been able to set up, I think within like 6 or 7 days, it was like 3 calls I was able to schedule.
Wow,
And one of them was actually inbound, which was nice.
that's
But the key is to have, like, to be prepared with everything, to have everything done professionally, your website, and to make sure you have good writing in your portfolio. But be confident, like, just act like you know what you're doing. And it's not fake it till you make it, but it's just kind of learn as you go. Because the way I'm thinking about it now is like when you land the first client, you're working on 1 or 2 projects at a time. You're not working on a million projects. So just learn how to do that one project, learn how to do that one type of writing or whatever it may be, and then go from there. You don't need to know how to do everything just to get started. And that's where I was getting stuck. Like I had tried to start in 2020, got burnt out, started trying to do it again and kept getting burnt out. But with like what you teach is very actionable and like here's just go step by step. So yeah, on the calls, just be confident, refer back to your portfolio pieces if you've never done this, if you haven't been published before, and then come in with a list of really good questions so that it can kind of leverage you, right? So that you're the one asking them a lot of questions. And one important thing for me really has been the elevator pitch because all of them have asked me, how did you end up here in dentistry, in the dental field? And it's so crafting my experiences to match the niche, really.
yeah, you did that so well. And I wanted to call that out in the group because people think like, well, I don't have a background in this. I can't relate my background to what I'm doing. And you always can if you
Right.
know how to tell a story. So with you, it's like you had knowledge of what you said, oral structure. You create your about page is such a good example of crafting a compelling story that tells the client how you got to where you are. And it doesn't include, well, I did 10 years of dentistry school and I did 10 years of professional copywriting, so hire me. It has nothing to do with that. It's that you have a knowledge and an interest and you've chosen a specific field and you learned how to package that into what we call the elevator pitch so
Yeah,
that it instantly resonates with the client.
exactly. Yeah. I was worried about it at first. Like I even posted in the Slack community group, like, oh, I feel like a fraud. Like people are gonna see right through me. But no, like I know even if there's something I don't understand within like what if there's a project I'm working on and there's a topic I don't understand, I know how to research. I know how to go through academic journals from my from my background as a speech therapist, and I know how to do that research and write about it. So yeah, just really think about like what things you have learned with your background and how you can use that in copywriting in your niche.
Yeah. And I like what you said about all of the overwhelm and the information, because the problem with this field, it can be the Wild West. There's so many people giving advice. And it's not that the advice isn't true, it's that it's not geared toward a beginner, because many people can't put themselves in the shoes of an absolute beginner. So they start saying things like get referrals and, make your own blog and start posting content. And it's like, yes, those things can help some people and they are good long-term goals. But what's going to get a brand new writer who's never done this from point A
Yeah.
to getting their first client? And the answer isn't learning copywriting and
Right.
doing this, doing that. It's create your portfolio, create your website, start pitching. It is that feeling of imposter syndrome, because you are doing something and you are doing something you've never done. You are marketing yourself even though you've never done it, but you need to do that to get the opportunity, and the client will be grateful. It's not about lying, deceiving. It's not about hyping. I can't tell you how many emails I got just recently saying like, I've never done this before, but I think I can do this for you. And it's like, don't tell me that. Reiterate your confidence in yourself and your enthusiasm. And I don't care if you're a beginner. I just want,
Yeah.
make me confident in you.
Yeah, I don't tell clients that I'm a beginner, I've never done this before. I mean, if they ask me like, who have you worked with before, I'll tell, like, I won't lie to them.
Right.
But it's just about making yourself seem knowledgeable, because you are, right, on this certain subject, and just setting yourself up to be confident and letting them know that you can do this. Like, there's a reason why you chose this field.
Yeah, the copywriting, marketing, persuasion, formulas, all that stuff will eventually come. Please, for every writer who's listening to this, don't get bogged down in thinking you need to know exactly what to do in order to get started. You need one client to give you one chance.
Yeah.
They're going to ask you, do you do this? And you're going to want to say, well, I've never done it before, but yes. No, no, no. Yes, I'll do that. Then you can scramble and start Googling and freaking out, but then you become resourceful, you research, you do what you have to do, and you give them your best. Maybe it'll flop. Maybe they'll hate it. Maybe they'll drop you. Who cares? We have to all start somewhere. And it doesn't start with just knowing everything. It starts with getting your foot in the door. And that's exactly what you did. And that's why I'm like, yes, like she gets it.
I was nervous at first because I'm someone who I like to know what I'm doing. And when I don't know what I'm doing, it's very scary. Like, I don't like to fail. And I
Yeah.
don't like when people see that I fail. So that's why I kept getting more books and just more and more and more. And it's like at a point where, like, well, when can I actually start? And so the way you break it down just made it easier for me to see, like, yeah, I can just do one thing at a time.
Now, if you're watching this, you're probably interested in becoming a freelance copywriter, but you don't know where to start. I recommend this video here, which is making your first $1,000 as a writer. I lay out the steps, and this video might be my most viewed video, so I think it's resonating with people. Give it a watch, comment down below, and tell me what you think of it, but it should give you more clarity about how to get started on this journey. Hope it helps.